Hi everybody. This month what we're working on for all of our action boards is really what we're calling buddying up. And what we want to do with buddy up is we want to choose somebody else on our board and we want to really do an in-depth one-on-one. Now you probably want to match up your businesses to make sure you got the same selling process and the same at least size of business. But this buddy up, if you do this right, you can get a minimum of 10 good strategic meetings for each other just by following a simple process. And the process is really core to how we build strategic relationships at Rainmaker. So what you want to do is you want to go through and use our areas of referrals chart for your board meeting and sit down with somebody and really do an in-depth one-on-one. So you're going to understand their food chain, the type of food chain relationships they're looking to put together. Now, I just use it for an example, an HR consultant. Now, an HR human resource consultant is going to have three different types of kind of food chain relationships just off the top of my head that they can invent. Now, food chain means that they're both eaten at about the same time. They're both consume the product and service that their customers consume are consumed about the same time or right around the same area of pain. So a food chain relationship for an human resource consultant could be a sales coach. They both come through HR. They're both dealing with training issues. They're both dealing with making basically the human resource better. Another food chain relationship could be a payroll consultant. Again, coming in through HR, coming in through that same cost structure. They're all around that central event, which is the people resource that they're spending money with. A benefits consultant could be another good food chain relationship. And we've seen a lot of these put together as strategic relationships in the history of Rainmakers. Once you start to understand that, you can start to think about people in your network that you could stick in their network and build strategic meetings for each other just by buddying up, just by focusing on each other and committing to grow each other's calendar. The next step is really understanding their niche and really drilling down and saying who is the product, who is the target market you really go after. And for this human resource consultant, we really targeted on printing. And when we got to printing, we thought about paper suppliers. We thought about the Business Development Association or the professional association that printing was centralized in. And one of the reasons we got him into niche is because it's a labor-intensive business. There's a lot of claims in that business. There's a lot of turnover, high demand, and the margins are thin. So anything you can do to reduce the overall resource that is the human resource, you could really create a good target from the beginning. Paper suppliers, a copier salesperson could be a great strategic resource because they're calling on the same target market. They have the same database of potential clients. And once you have database overlap, you can really get productive in building strategic connections for each other. A chemical supplier, there's a lot of chemicals used in printing. And if you could buddy up with somebody from Zap or you could put and get a potential one-on-one with somebody from Zap Chemicals or somebody in that arena, that person's got a laundry list of database, and printers are one of the things they go after, and that could be a good strategic connection. Once you start to get on decision maker, you're going to start dealing with bigger printing companies, even staying in this niche. But what we really centralize with is if you're a human resource, you're really going to probably come in through the CHO or the CFO. And CFOs they're automatically, the bridge into a CFO could be a good accountant, somebody who does expense reduction, consulting, process engineering, web application development. That's usually a CIO or a CFO's kind of job requirement because they're looking to reduce the total overhead. And that just having 1 degree off to that decision maker could be a great strategic relationship. And what you start to do is hone in around your target market and your client, and you build relationships that are 1 degree off the people that you're really trying to get to. The path is not a straight line to get to your customers. There's too many gatekeepers. There's too many ways for them to shut you down. Leveraging a relationship is really the basic fundamental that networking is all based on. A trigger event. You know, what we've done here is we've gone from 101 to 201 to 301, and trigger events really drilling down and thinking strategically about your business and what is the pain that causes people to come in. When you get to a trigger event for a human resource consultant could be a layoff. And so a strategic partner could be a PR firm because they're going to have to manage that and downplay the negative consequences of being in a layoff. A lawsuit, so a business attorney or an employment attorney could be a great strategic relationship for a human resource consultant. Normally you wouldn't put those two people together. Only when you understand the trigger event that really drives the purchase of your business can you start to get your head around what really makes sense for you and your business. In an employee benefit, somebody like Aflac that is giving extra benefits to employers that are looking to be competitive in this market when margins are tight and they're trying to squeeze everything they can get. That can be a competitive resource. A good Aflac agent is a great strategic partner to an HR consultant. And what happens is when you spend a good one-on-one and you work through this system, you get through this chart, and you start writing down all the people that you know, you make the one-off strategic connections that fill in somebody's calendar. And the hardest thing to get going in networking is to really understand what makes sense for me to network. Who are the people that are going to influence the purchase of my product and service? And this chart that we're doing and the commitment that we're making in a one-on-one, in your advisory boards, I want you to pair off, commit to do a one-on-one, and spend at minimum enough time so you can fill out this chart and understand each other's business, and then commit to make introductions and build 10 meetings a piece for each other. You'll be amazed at the business that this will catalyze. You'll be amazed at the relationships that will develop out of this. And you really don't have to know too much more about selling each other's business because you're really not achieving that point. You're just going through the process of making the bridges, the initial introductions that cause business to happen. The meetings, the coffee, the lunches that cause new relationships that create business to happen. And that's really what we're all about. It's all about getting the meetings that get the meeting. That's what we do in Rainmakers. That's what we're working on this month. Commit to each other. Spend enough time and energy on each other to build 10 meetings apiece for each other. Not with target markets, not with the clients, because you don't have enough leverage, but build the outside relationships for each other that are going to influence in these 4 levels on what we do to build strategic relationship. And you'll see momentum catch on your board. And from that momentum, you'll grow relationships. And from those relationships, you'll really start to see an ROI in your networking dollar and time.